So yeah, I am absolutely making this video right now, knowing I'm going to get a lot of hate. Again, I think it's very, very obvious that the West Coast Eagles fan base is one of the most passionate in the AFL, if not the most passionate in the AFL. And I think whenever a subject about Harley Reid gets brought up, it's a very, very touchy one. And look, I don't blame Eagles fans because I think it is really, really unfortunate how much media scrutiny Harley Reid has continuously copped and how much pressure is on him in the media and how much it's reported he is going to leave. And again, I tried to stay out of it, especially for the first year when it looked like Harley Reid was really happy and absolutely was loving his time at the Eagles. But of course now, with my job, I have to report on when there are genuine, actual reporters out there and experts saying that they believe he will leave. I've got to report on it, right? And these have been great sources like Cal Toomey and I believe Tom Morris have both said from what they know and from what their understanding is, Harley Reid will most likely be requesting a trade at the end of the year. Again, there's still a massive chance he re-signs, right? And I think he actually, for the most part, still probably really likes it at the West Coast Eagles. But again, we're going off reports here, and I thought it'd be a little bit of a fun thing today to talk about who I think would give the best trade packages up for Harley Reid. And if West Coast could trade him anywhere, what are the deals that they could get for him, right? What are some of the packages they could get, back for him? And again, it's going to be fun making this video. It's not probably going to be fun reading the comments because, as we know, a lot of people think that Harley Reid is just worth 4 first-round picks, which has never been done in the history of the game. It never will be done, I don't think, in the history of the game. And yeah, we gotta try and keep it reasonable, right? We gotta be realistic here. So yeah, if one of you guys wants to threaten my whole entire family tree in the comment section down below, just because I don't have Harley Reid, going to Collingwood for 18 first-round picks, yeah, I'm sorry. But again, there are a lot of Victorian teams who are interested in him and a lot of trade packages have started to be thrown up. Again, I think the big one and the best one by far that I have heard was, of course, Cal Toomey actually talking about how he thinks the Richmond Football Club should offer up the West Coast Eagles pick 2 and 3 for Harley Reid, and the Eagles should, of course, accept it. Again, that is a massive trade offer. When you think about it, it is absolutely insane that Richmond, for starters, have picked 2 and 3 in one draft. Like, to be able to get that without any compensation or anything like that, they just flat out got it because North Melbourne are not the sharpest tools in the shed, is absolutely insane, right? Again, I've floated this around on the channel that I think if Richmond offered that, West Coast should 100% accept it, and I think they would 100% accept it. Again, I think there was 1 or 2 people in my last comment section who said that that's not enough and that West Coast should get back another first. And let me just tell you this, the only time I think a trade has gone down the AFL that has revolved like 3 first-round picks was when Tim Kelly got traded to the Eagles and they gave up like 3 first-round picks to get him. And again, that was such a disaster of a trade, which set back West Coast for many, many years. And again, those first-round picks weren't even anywhere near as good as the first-round picks that Richmond would be offering up here of pick 2 and 3. And again, if West Coast got offered this, yeah, they are absolutely doing it because in reality, Oscar Allen, who is said to be leaving, is going to give them a band 1 compensation back in return, which would be pick 2, of course, next to where they are on the ladder, which is last. So they would be given pick 2, which means that if they did this Harley Reid trade and lost Oscar Allen, they would have picks 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the 2025 AFL draft. Like, you cannot say no to that, and they will absolutely not say no to that. So Richmond are the obvious team that could get this deal done, right? The next team outside of them who there's not really anyone who have that many great packages who are interested in Harley Reid kind of left outside of Richmond again. I think the next one is Essendon, who at the time of making this video, unfortunately for them, Melbourne continue to keep winning, right? And I think if you are going to get a deal that is going to be 3 first-round picks from any team, it could very well be Essendon. Again, 3 first-round picks never happens in the history of the game. As I just said, it's happened like once, and that was with Tim Kelly, right? And I think they got 3. I think they had to give up 3 for Tim Kelly. I can't even remember, but it was a stupid trade, right? Again, it was very unfortunate for West Coast because they thought they were getting a seriously great player, and it just didn't really work out. So it's not West Coast's fault. It just was a stupid trade at the end of the day, which kind of just cooked them. But if you were West Coast, at the time of making this video, Essendon have picks 8 and 9 in this year's draft. If I was West Coast, I would go up to Essendon and say, look, you give us pick 8 and 9 and a future first round pick, and I think we get this done. Because at the end of the day, in this year's draft, which is kind of compromised with all the academy and father-sons, 8 and 9 is not going to be as good as what it would have been last year's draft. But again, 3 first-round picks never happens. And if you can get 3 first-round picks for one player, that should still set you up. Like, imagine having 4 top 10 picks still in this year's draft, and then you got Essendon's first-round pick to rely on in the year after. Again, that deal has been reported. I think they even brought that up to Brad Scott, and that is very well something that could happen. Again, that trade and the Richmond trade are the 2 best trades that they're probably going to be getting offered for Harley Reid. So if Harley Reid was to leave, they would want him to go to at least one of them because, goddamn, pick 2 and 3, that is a monumental trade for them. That could give them picks 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is insane to think. Again, 8 and 9 are definitely not as good, but you also get that future first-round pick, and knowing Essendon, they probably won't be that good, meaning that will probably be another top 10 pick as well. So could be 8 and 9 this year and pick 8 next year. That's a lot. That is a lot when you think about it. Especially if you draft well, you could get 3 seriously good players out of that. Again, you move on to the other 2 teams, right? The other 2 teams who are very interested in Harley Reid. And this is where the video might get a little bit silly, and West Coast fans may disagree because we really don't know. We don't know what these teams are going to be able to give up and how the trade's going to work. But obviously Hawthorn are one of them, right? Hawthorn really want Harley Reid. Now, at the time making this video, they have pick 7 from the Carlton Football Club. So I think they should offer up pick 7 from Carlton, pick 25 from Carlton, which they have. I'd offer both of those picks up, a future first-round pick, and try and move on a player. If a player wants to go to West Coast, that'd be good for them. Again, has that really ever happened in the AFL where 3 really good picks like that and a player get moved? Very rarely, but again, we're talking about Harley Reid here, who's supposed to be a generational talent. So, again, pick 7 and 25 and a future first could be pretty good. That could equate to like 7, 25, and maybe 15 next year, and a player. Again, I still don't think West Coast would like that for Harley Reid. They would still probably rather the Essendon trade, definitely would rather the Richmond trade, but I just don't know what else Hawthorn can give up. And if it's a good player like Butler, who's playing in the VFL right now, who would easily get a game in West Coast and probably automatically be like their 15th best player, someone like that who's young and should be really good, I think West Coast would definitely have a look at it. But also, you got to convince the player to want to go up to the team, which I think a younger player like that would if he got the opportunity. Again, last but not least, we have Geelong. Or should I say, I mean, it's definitely least. I don't know. This is the one where I'm kind of scrambling here. I don't know what they could give up. What the hell could Geelong give up that would seriously entice the West Coast Eagles, right? Like, absolutely nothing. So, Geelong have pick 14. Okay, I guess that's a start. They have pick 14 at the time of making this video. They also have pick 32. I mean, that's the start. And then you could give up your future first round pick as well and try and do a player. It's very similar to the Hawthorn one, except every pick is like 6 picks back. So it's just way worse again. I don't want to talk about Geelong, really. I don't see how they even are going to have the ability to trade for Harley Reid. Like, you compare that package to what I said from Richmond and Essendon, and it's like, holy crap, that is so bad. Like, how are you going to make that happen? I just don't know. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the only trade I think is really great for West Coast is that Richmond one. Like, if you get 2 and 3, which would make it picks 1 through 4 for you, is absolutely insane. Like, how can you say no to that? The other thing is too, if though West Coast do have pick 1 and 2, which they should, I think one of the players they will take is Willem Dersma, which could very well convince Harley Reid to stay. Again, Willem Dersma is the brother of Yasmin Dersma, Harley Reid's partner, and again, that means you're basically drafting a family member to the West Coast Eagles to play with Harley Reid, a friend probably as well. And the realistic thing is that would probably convince Yasmin to maybe go up and live in Perth, or maybe even if they want to sign her in their AFLW team. Again, she seems to be a pretty good player as well. So there's a lot of different things they could, of course, do here. And I'm going to be interested to see how this all does unfold with Harley Reid. I would love to know, though, what do you guys think are the best trade packages down below? And if I see anyone saying Richmond pick 2, 3 and a future first, I will not be happy, because there's no way that's ever going to happen. So let's try and be realistic down below. Let's have a look. Let's see. What are people's opinions? What do people think the Harley Reid trade situation could be? Again, I'd very much like to know your thoughts and opinions down below. Subscribe to my gaming channel, which is linked down below as well. My sports channel, which is this one. And yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.